Okay, the next story is an example of just something that I feel like the OP might already know what we're going to say, but sometimes you just need to hear somebody else say it. And maybe some of our listeners might feel the same, and hopefully you can reflect on yourself.
Yeah.
My partner starts a fight and calls me crazy every time I tell him how I feel. I, 20 female, have been dating my partner, 28 male, for almost a year, and during this time, we haven't gone a month without fighting at least multiple times. After the fights, he would completely ignore me for days or even weeks. The fights would always start by me trying to communicate with him nicely about how I feel about certain things, what I'd like him to change, or how something he does is hurting me. For example, I feel uncomfortable about him following around 20 new girls every month, and I try to communicate how I feel about it nicely. I don't ask him to stop, I simply tell him how I feel and try to find a solution. He immediately gets mad, says I'm starting a fight, which I'm not, and starts ignoring my messages.
What? Sorry, I was trying to start my lighter because we're fucking gaslighting right now.
Oh, yes. Facts.
Ugh.
I then send a few messages trying to explain to him how it upsets me that he always thinks me communicating about my feelings means I'm starting a fight. That's when he would start calling me crazy, a psycho, and annoying for texting him so much, and that I need help for that. I admit that I send him quite a few texts after fighting, but it's just me trying to explain myself and how it hurts that he's not communicating or asking him to make up because I don't want to be ghosted for weeks. It's
weeks?
Yeah, it's really exhausting. He has ended things so many times over me texting him too much after a fight. Every time after ghosting me or ending things, he'd text me again like nothing has happened, and if I bring up anything about what happened prior, he'd get upset again, so we never get to resolve anything. It's not just about other girls. This also happens when I try talking to him about wanting to meet up more often, wanting him to talk to me more, and stuff like that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just really annoying and picking a fight over everything. Any advice on how to fix this or what I should do?
Hey. Bye.
I feel so bad for this girl because she's 20 years old. She's basically a child. 2.5 years ago, she would have been a child. He hasn't been a child for 10.5 years. There's so many things wrong here. One is that he's 28 and you're 20 years old. The power dynamic is absurd.
Right.
He is so easily manipulating you and you don't even see it. There is no quality that this man could have that would outweigh all the shitty things that he is doing to you right now.
Absolutely.
The only thing that you should ever say to him again is, it's been great, goodbye, this is over. And walk away, block him, move on. This is not what the person that's meant for you is going to do. This is not how the person that is your soulmate that you should be with and put effort into the relationship. This is not how that person's going to treat you. I'm so sorry that it has gotten this bad, but the gaslighting is so real.
It is so real. This is like the prime. If you didn't really understand what gaslighting was in a relationship, here it is. We just laid it out on the table for you.
Yeah.
This is insane. I mean, I've literally been there when I was like, 16 and 17 dating someone. And this turned into like an emotionally, mentally like abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And it started with this.
Yeah.
So please, for the love of God, for like 16-year-old Erin, like please walk away from this because you have no idea how much harm this can do to you.
Yeah. And not to say age gaps are always bad because sometimes they work, but 8 years is a long time when you're 20 years old.
Right.
So
when he can go to the bar and you can't.
Exactly.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. He's been an adult for 10 years. You've been an adult for 2 years.
He knows adult life without you. You don't know it without him.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need to be on your own, find yourself, have experiences that are going to teach you what you want and what you deserve.
Get therapy before it's too late. Like, this is just crazy. Kelly said it herself. Like, OP, we already know what OP wants to do and just needs to hear it from us.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Yeah. It's so sad that in relationships like this, especially when the people are younger, I almost feel like I'm thinking of this girl as like a little sister or like a little cousin. Yeah. And it's like you're 20 years old. Any 28-year-old that is seeking out a 20-year-old, I'm like, what's the reasoning there?
No.
Like, what is... I feel like there has to be... What?
I wonder how they met.
Yeah. I feel like there has to be some underlying reason why this 28-year-old is dating someone that's basically a child. This person can't even legally drink, and you want to date them?
Mm-mm.
Also, I feel like he doesn't even want to date you. The fact that he's okay ignoring you for days and weeks just because you're trying to talk to him, is that the kind of relationship that you want? Because he has shown you who he truly is. That's not going to just change overnight.
No.
So this is going to be how your relationship is for as long as your relationship lasts.
No. He has this control and he's enjoying it. You're his little puppet right now.
Exactly.
Break those strings and run for the hills.
Also, what you're doing right now, every time he mentally abuses you, gaslights you, ignores you, and then comes back like nothing ever happened, you are showing him that he can do, and I'm not trying to victim blame. I just want you to keep this in your mind so that you can stand up for yourself now and in the future. But you're showing him that he can basically do anything to you, and you're going to just take him back and accept it.
Yeah.
So you need to not accept this with this relationship or ever again in the future.
Yeah.
Walk away. Find someone that will treat you well, because there are people out there that will.
Mm-hmm.
And use this as a learning experience. I'm so sorry you ever went through it, but the best thing you can do right now is leave this relationship and never go back to it.
This is like, this just breaks my heart.
I know.
And it's so hard. Like, please walk away from this.
I know.
If any single person listens to this podcast episode and walks away from a person like this, like one person, I will literally feel like my relationship like this was not for was not for nothing. Like, please walk away.
I know. I think about that too. Like, even like things that idea of, I wish I knew then what I know now. Like, there's so many situations in my 20s where people just didn't treat me right. Yeah. And I'm like, I wish I fucking called it out. What are you losing by calling it out? Like, let's say that someone is treating you shitty and being manipulative or whatever, and you call them out on it. If they leave you or abandon you because of that, what are you really losing?
The only thing you're possibly losing is your own sanity, because if this OP calls out this man's, he's gonna twist it on her. There is no speaking from experience, there is no calling these people out. You are at that point wasting your own time, breath, and sanity.
True.
Don't even call it out. For your own good, walk away.
Okay. Instead of saying calling it out, I should have said putting up with it. Because the only thing that you're going to lose if you tell yourself that you're not going to put up with this kind of behavior anymore is this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Like, what are you losing if you lose this guy? You're losing a manipulator, someone that does not respect you, someone that ignores you for weeks on end. And going back to what I said earlier, think about this. Do you want to walk down the aisle to this guy? Ugh. Do you want to walk down the aisle to a guy that ignores you, gaslights you, manipulates you, tells you that you're trying to start a fight every single time you want to talk to him?
Do not make us show up at that wedding and grab you before you can
get the gavel. I would be objecting.
Yeah, please speak now. Yeah. Or forever hold your peace. We're jumping up in that pew.
Yeah.
Please run for the hills, OP.
Also, just in general, even if the situation wasn't that bad, I even think about like things that guys have said to me or ways that they've acted in my presence a year ago. Yeah. And I'm like, why the hell did I not look that guy in the eye and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Or like, what did that mean? Like, people, we just let guys slide so easily.
To be fair, we let women slide too. You ever like have a coworker that says something to you, or like,
I'm talking from personal experience, like for myself. I'm like, I let so much slide. I should not say we, I should say I've just let guys say things to me and I'm just like, oh, but he's nice though, so like I just won't say it. No
one is that nice.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm no longer gonna get caught up in feelings enough to ignore.
If they're that nice, they wouldn't be behaving like this.
Exactly, that's the thing.
They're not that nice.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's called being a sociopath, putting on a front and not showing the outside world or the just dark you.
Just being a dickhead. Like, sure, there are times where just mean people, they don't have to be a sociopath. They don't have to be like this deep thing. They could just be a person that sucks, that just isn't nice.
Like, these guys aren't the gum on the bottom of your shoe. They're like the dog poop in the bag that someone lit on fire on your front porch and you tried to stomp the fire out and you stepped in the dog poop.
Yeah.
That's these men.
They're just like the trash, you know? And it's like sometimes you need the trash. The trash benefits you.
You need it there.
Or you need the trash can, I guess.
You need it there to put your stuff in.
Yeah, exactly.
But honey, it's time to take out this trash.
Yeah.
It's time to kick it to the curb.
It's like it served a purpose and now you need to move on and be done with it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I just feel like I just feel like nobody who is actually a good person is going to treat you this way, and nobody that you deserve, that the universe made for you, that God made for you, is going to treat you like that.
Absolutely not.
So leave him. I would say dump his ass immediately.
Yup.
Wow.
Good riddance.
I really hope someone needed to hear that.
I know a lot of people needed to hear that. I hope they hear it.